So this is the code that me and my partner made for the final project. So we started out with making some variables like pixel size, width, and height, and then making an object for the color palettes and some more variables like color, which is either the color from the object or the Game Boy palette. So that makes it the default, the Game Boy palette. And then a high score variable, which is either high score or it's 0. So it makes 0 the default unless there's a high score. And then this is the code for our Bitmojis. And then these are some basic functions, like a function to fill the pixel, fill the rectangle, fill the border rectangle, and a draw text function, which has some more variables like characters and fifth, which rounds the size down to a fifth. And then it also has a for loop for all the characters. And then if statements, which are basically to draw the letters. You can see there's comments for what letters have a specific part. So like this one, if they have a left line, then it's an if statement if the character is one of those characters, and it fills a rectangle to draw it. And we did that for all the letters and numbers. And then this is the external button class from Con. And then here's some more classes like a text function, which is an abstraction from the draw text function, which makes it easier for the text to be added and modified in a scene. And then there's another this.draw function that draws text. And then there's a rectangle function and a custom draw function. And then this section is scenes. So there's an objects array for the scene, and then there's update this.update function, which has a for loop and some more functions. Then there's a game function which draws the game, and then we created a new game variable here. Then there's another function here which determines frame rate to make the snake movement easier. And there's a draw function which updates the game in the background and draws the game. There's a mouse click function to help change the game scenes. And then this is the game, and there's a snake function which draws the snake. So the snake has a head X, Y, and a body, which is an array. And we determine that this direction and the next direction is -1 to make it stop moving initially. And this dot grow equals false, determines if the snake will grow in the next update. And there's a this dot move function for the snake, which helps the snake move. And there's this dot head and this dot head X and head Y. And then here we determine some new variables for the food. And then this is an if statement which checks if the snake has touched the food. And if it has, it grows. And then it adds score. And then there's it updates the score text for the game scene, and it updates the score text for all the scenes. And then if statement determines if the current score is greater than the high score, then it sets the high score to the current score. And then this is an update function to help update the movement for the snake. And this function determines if the snake has hit itself, and if it does, then it changes the current scene to the end screen. Here's some more draw functions with for loops for filling the border rectangle. And this is a function for food, which randomizes where the food is on the screen, and an update for the function, and then a draw function, and these determine the data score and the current scene to start out as 0, and then this scene is for the main menu, which shows the text for the snake and our names, and then puts our Bitmojis there too. And then this is for the button, and when it's clicked, it changes the scene to the game screen, and then determines that you can move the snake with the arrow keys. And then this is a button to go to the palette screen to change the color. And then this adds a new scene for the game, and it makes the text for the score, and makes more objects for the rectangles, like a border, and for the snake and the food, and then another draw function for the emojis. And then this makes another new scene for the game over screen, which has text for the game over and the final score and the high score and a reset button. And this is another new game scene for the palette screen. See, there's 4 buttons, 1 for the exit and then 3 for the different colors. And then this sets the grid width to 24 and the grid height to 22. And then this is an index for the snake in the objects array. This is an index for the food in the objects array.